Okay, right. So now I want to launch an application URL and I want to enter username, password, and I want to click on login button. So, this is the application URI. I clicked on some new tab and I'm opening this application URI. So open source demo. This is an orange HR management application. So generally for automation purpose, people will use this application URI. Okay. And so this is an HR management application. So hiring process and employee hiring and how HR will perform in the website. Okay, this is a sample application. Okay, sample website. So we are going to do all the labs on this website only. Okay, so people will use this website only. Most of the courses means wherever you are learning automation, people will use this is the popular website. Okay, so I launched my application. I launched my browser and I invoked my application URI. And after that, I'm entering admin. Can please go on mute, please? I'm getting disturbance. And I entered username as admin. So whatever username has been given admin and password as admin123. And I'm clicking on login button. So it's navigating to home page. Okay, it's navigated to home page, and this application contains so many modules like admin module, PM module, leave management, recruitment management. So whatever HR is performing activities, so there are different modules has been given, and as per the functional flows, she will navigate to appropriate screen and she will perform the all the functionalities. Okay, so and I am going to do logout. I'm clicking on welcome and I'm clicking on logout. Right. So this is the application I want to launch and I want to enter username, password and login button. Okay, this is the scenario I want to automate. So prior to automation, I want to tell you the background about so what is the selenium terminology, what we can call this one, I want to tell you. Okay, so this is a text field. Okay, and this is also one text field. So where you enter the some information, and this is a login button. Okay, this is a hyperlink. So hyperlink means whenever you click on some link, it will be navigated to some another page. Okay, so that means, but in selenium terminology, everything I can call it as a web element. Okay, I won't call it as a text field, I won't call it as a login button, I won't call it as a hyperlink. In selenium terminology, whatever I'm seeing on the web page, simply I can call it as a web element. Okay, so for every web element, developer will give some ID and name. Okay, see, myself I am Sudhakar and yourself you are having some name. Similarly, developer will give some name and ID. Okay, for every web element. So first of all, we have to know what is the ID that web element it contains, what is the name it contains, we have to know. So let's see how to identify the ID and name for a particular web element. So this is a text field, this is a username text field, and this is a password text field, and this is a login button. So for every web element, developer is giving name and ID. Okay, so how can I know? So just I'm right clicking on this web element and I'm clicking on inspect. Okay, one second. So right click and click on inspect. See, this is the line got highlighted. When I will inspect, this is the line got highlighted, and here ID is equal to what is the name it contains, txt username, and the name is equal to txt username. So that means for this web element, what is the ID? So I'm taking ID. So I'm noting down in my notepad txt username. And I want to know what is the ID, name and password. For the password text field, what is the name and ID has been given. So right click and click on inspect. So this is the line got highlighted. ID is equal to txt password and name is equal to txt password. So I'm taking ID, control C, double click, and I'm double clicking, control C, and I'm pasting here. Okay, and similarly I want to take login button, web element ID or name. So I'm taking ID. So right click, click on inspect. So ID is equal to button login, Control C. Understood, right? So I have taken web element ID. Okay. And it is not guaranteed that ID and name will be same every time. Okay. So I'm clicking on right clicking and clicking on inspect. So ID is equal to here button login, name is equal to here submit. Okay. So, but whereas in password, so suppose if you'll come to here, name and ID has been given same. Name is equal to txt username and ID also he has given. So something happened. So right click on inspect. See, ID is equal to txt username. Image. So it's not like that developer will give same name and same ID. So I'm taking every web element ID and I have saved it here. Understood, right? So that means for every web element, developer will give name and ID. Okay. So that so I have taken ID. So let's remember this point. Okay. Now let's go to the next. So I'm going to write first basic program. So just create a testng class. So creating a testng class tc04 underscore login, and I'm clicking on finish. So this is the testng class got created. Immediately space, give some enter and efficient space because we are going to write some lines of code. So and I'm going to rename my method name as login test. So my method name is login test. Okay. So this is the initial state once testng class got created. Okay. So now the first step is you have to declare WebDriver. Okay, what is a WebDriver? I already told you. WebDriver means it will receive each and every set of driver instruction and it will pass every instruction to Chrome browser. So first I have to declare WebDriver. WebDriver driver. So here WebDriver is a supporting libraries which was developed by Selenium. Okay, so I have written WebDriver driver and it is showing some error. Just keep the mouse over on that one. So I kept my mouse over on this one. Okay, and it is asking to import WebDriver. So just I'm clicking on import WebDriver. Okay, see, this is the supporting libraries. Supporting library was automatically imported and this error has we are not able to see that error. Okay, so this section we can call it as a supporting libraries. Okay, so WebDriver class has been imported and I have created WebDriver reference. Okay, so this is an object. Okay, so WebDriver object reference I have created, and let's go back to the day 001 demo. So this is a package already I have already a set of programs I have already developed. So I'm just clicking on the existing program and I'm copying these 4 lines of code. So these 4 lines of code is required in every Selenium program. So I'm going to explain what is the importance of these 4 lines. So simply I'm copying, I'm closing, and I'm going. So I have declared my WebDriver. So this is a declaration section. Okay, and I am writing those set of lines of code inside a method because we have to write all lines of code inside a method. Okay, so now let's understand what is this 4 lines of code. Okay, system.setProperty WebDriver.Chrome.driver, and I'm specifying ChromeDriver.exe. Okay, so ChromeDriver.exe, which is located under C drive, under this folder, this ChromeDriver.exe is there. So let me go back to C drive. So there is no ChromeDriver.exe. Okay, one second. Yeah. So in C drive, so this is the folder Chrome driver underscore win32 folder, which contains Chrome driver.exe. Okay. So as I told you in the demo, so WebDriver. So you are going to execute your program on Chrome browser. So I'm telling where is my Chrome driver.exe is located in my system. Okay. So the first line of code you have to tell, you have to specify where is your Chrome driver.exe is located, because each and every command it will go to Chrome driver.exe and Chrome driver.exe will execute every instruction on the Chrome browser. So in the interviews also, people will ask, what is the first line of code you have to write in Selenium? So you have to tell system.setProperty webdriver.chrome.driver, and I have to specify where is Chrome driver.exe is located in my system. So under C drive, Chrome driver underscore win32 folder contains Chrome driver.exe path. So that this Chrome driver.exe will be ready to execute set of commands. So these are called set of driver commands. So the Chrome driver.exe will be ready to execute this set of driver commands. Suppose if I don't write this line of code, so Chrome driver.exe cannot, because system doesn't know where is Chrome driver.exe. So the instruction, it won't go to the Chrome browser at all, and your program execution cannot be executed. Understood? So what is the first line of code we have to write? System.setProperty webdriver.chrome.driver and Chrome driver.exe path we have to specify. Okay, so otherwise system doesn't know what lines of code it has to execute on the Chrome browser. And this is, so next, so this is the first command, driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So whenever line number 16 is executed, what will happen? Your Chrome driver.exe will invoke Chrome browser. So that means your Chrome browser window will be launched. So like this, it will, suppose it will go and it will invoke a Chrome browser. So like this. Okay, so driver is equal to new Chrome driver means your Chrome driver.exe, it is receiving the first instruction, and driver is equal to new Chrome driver means it will invoke Chrome browser. So that means your window is launched like this. Okay, and after that, what is the next command? Driver.manage.window.maximize. So what does that line mean? If you are studying that one, it will automatically maximize. Okay, driver will be maximized like that. Okay, next one, driver.get application URI. Suppose if you want, so whichever application URI that you are going to test, that application URI you have to specify in the driver.get command. Okay, so this is the application URI, it will be invoked here, and automatically it will be invoked, and this login page will be navigated. Understood, right? So that means in any of the websites, the first 4 lines of code is this one only. Okay, so people will ask these 4 lines of code in the interview. So if you don't know the basic parts, okay, you cannot able to answer. Okay, so how do you launch the browser? That is the question people are asking in the interviews. So simply you have to tell system.setProperty webdriver.chrome.driver, and I have to specify Chrome driver.exe path, so that my Chrome driver.exe will be ready to execute your set of driver commands. Okay, and the next one is driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Your Chrome browser is window is launched, and driver.manage.window.maximize, window is maximized, and your application URI is launched. Okay, so I navigated to application URI. Hope everyone understood what is this importance of 4 lines of code. So in the next class onwards, I'm not going to explain these 4 lines. Okay, so just go through the video recording. Okay, understood. Now next point is, so we have taken every web element ID, right? So I'm copying these web element IDs and I'm pasting here. Okay, because I want to enter username. So once my navigated to application URL, I want to enter username, I want to enter password, and I want to click on login button. So I have taken every web element ID. Okay, so now I have to write set of driver commands to enter username, to enter password, to enter login button. So now let's go to some existing program, how to write set of driver commands. So just I'm taking one line of code for reference. Okay, so just Control C, and I'm going back to here, Control V, Control V, and Control V. So driver dot find element, am I taken ID or name? ID. I have taken every web element ID. So I have to take ID. I have to write it ID. Okay, driver dot find element by ID. So what is the first one? This one, Control V, and second one, txt password, and third one, button login. right? So like that, I have written 3 set of driver commands. So driver dot find element by ID. So this we can call it as a, whatever I highlighted, that part I can call it as a web element. Okay, and this is a web element, driver dot find element by ID. So that is a web element, and this is a web element, driver dot find element by ID button login. So on a button, if you want to type some value, we will use a command as send keys. Okay, so on the text field, I want to write some value as admin, and in the password, I want to type value as admin123. If it is a text field, you will write send keys. So send keys is the operation you will perform on a web element. Okay, and if it is a button, you have to write operation as click. So in any of the websites, what you will do, either you will type or you have to do click operation. So on a web element, what are the operations that we can perform? Click operation or send keys operation. Understood, right? So driver dot find element by ID. So the driver which will locate the web element based on the ID, and automatically it will type this value. And driver which will locate the web element ID based on this one, and after that admin123 value will be typed, and driver will find the web element ID as button login, and click operation will be performed. Understood, right? So by going through these lines of code, we can easily understand it looks like simple English only. It's not like a coding. So your job is you need to identify the ID of every web element. Okay, so writing of Selenium code is that much is okay. So now let's continue. So now I'm saving. Okay, and I'm going to execute this program. So this is the program, right? So tc01 login.java. So to execute this program, I have selected tc01 login.java, and I'm clicking on run button. Proceed. See, your driver is equal to new Chrome driver maximized, driver dot get application URI executed, and username and password and login button got clicked. Automatically it's happened because I have automated login page. Up to login page I have automated. Understood, right? So I will tell you one more exercise. Let's see, we will complete one more exercise. Okay, is everyone okay, right? Okay, so I want to click on admin. I want to click on nationalities. Okay, and I want to click on add button, and after that I want to enter Indian 123, and I want to click on save. Okay, so these are the 5 commands I want to write. Okay, so let's go to the program. So as of now I navigated to login page. After that my control navigated to home page. So in the home page, what is the first web element I have to click? Admin. So that means I have to inspect the web element ID. So let me take inspect web element ID. So by default, sometimes the body will be highlighted in the here. So again, you can inspect it. Right click and click on inspect. So here, sir, there is no ID, sir, for this web element. Okay, admin we have. Okay, so you can take immediate web element. Okay, so the ID has been given here. So I'm taking Control C and I'm pasting here. Okay, so I mean that means I have taken web element admin, and after that which one I want to click? So let me right click and click on inspect. So ID. So just double click, Control C, and go to here and paste it. Okay, and after clicking on admin and nationalities, what is the next point? Add button. So right click web element and inspect add button. Add button ID is equal to button add. I'm taking the web element ID. Add button, and after clicking on add button, so this is the text field. So right click and click on inspect. ID is equal to nationality name. Right. After entering the name, what I'm doing? Save. So that means I have to take web element ID for save. Control C. and Control V. So save. So that's it. So that means how many lines of code I have to write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let me copy this line of code. Control C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first the driver, it has to look at the web element ID as admin. And after that nationality, it has to click. And after that, it has to click on add button. So the driver will look at the web element ID. And after that nationality name, I want to, it's a click operation or send keys operation. Send keys, because I am typing some value. So I'm copying the send keys and here I'm pasting. Okay, 1 second. Control V and Indian. Previously, I have created 123. I'm going to create 124. And finally, button save dot click. Understood, right? So this is the web element. First admin dot click, next nationality dot click, next add button dot click, and next nationality name. It's a text field. I have to write send keys. So I have written send keys and I want to enter value as Indian 124. And finally, I want to click on button save dot click. Okay, so that's it. So writing of, so by going through these lines of code, okay, you are easily understanding what is happening. Okay, so these are the set of driver commands it will execute. So now I'm saving this program and then now right click and go and run as test-ng test. So you can execute like this also, or you can go and directly click on run button from here also. Anyway, we already clicked from run button. Let me execute this time alternate. So we can go and run and click on test-ng test. So this test-ng class will be executed. So all the set of driver is equal to new Chrome driver maximize driver dot get, and after that driver dot find element by username, password, and login button got clicked, and it is navigating to admin dot click and nationalities dot click and add button click and Indian 124 and it's saved. Okay, let me check Indian 124 record has been created or not. So Control F and I'm typing Indian 124. Is this record got created or not? It's created successfully. So now I want to create one more record, Indian 125. What I need to do in this script, in this program, where I have to change my line of code. In line number 29, I have to change. So let me change Indian 125 and I have to click on save. Okay, and click on run button. That's it. So every time whenever you are executing your program, you have to modify your input data, because that record already has been created like that. The system will prompt you. Understood? Okay, successfully Control F, Indian 135. So this is the record got created. Understood? So what is the syntax of a web element? Web element driver dot find element by ID. Okay, so summary is, for any of the web element, what are the operations that we can perform? Click operation or send keys operation, because in any of the website we will do typing operation or we will do click operations. So we have to know how to write syntax for web element. You no need to remember also, just I copied and pasted one line of code and I have written the scripting part like this. So is it look like a scripting, sir? I don't know coding and it's very difficulty. Are you having any feeling like that? Nothing.
Sir, excuse me,
So
sir.
1 second, I'm taking attention in classroom. I will come to you. Yeah.
See, when you're working on a right project,
Uh,
so as you said, the driver factor.
hmm.
So this would be the same syntax.
Yeah. It is, that is the same syntax everywhere it has to write. Default. Okay.
So that new program
Driver is equal to new Chrome driver. That is the predefined command. That's it. Every time. New Chrome driver. Okay. Somebody is asking doubt in online people.
Sir, what is the syntax of web element? Can you explain one more time?
Syntax of web element. This is the syntax.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the syntax. to locate that web element.
Driver.
And this is the syntax. After that, you have to decide, is it a click operation or send keys operation? Whatever action that you are performing, you have to write it. If you are typing, you have to write send keys. If you are doing click, you have to write click. Okay.
And one more doubt.
Hmm.
Indian 124, that record is also saved, and Indian 125, this record is also saved. So
Yeah.
so every time whenever you change the data, the previous records are already
Yeah, it's already exists.
saved.
Yeah, it's already saved. So whenever I am asking, so as part of regression testing, I asked you to test this functionality. What you will do as part of regression testing? Just you will change input data 135 and you will execute it, and you will ensure that function flow is correctly working fine or not. That's it. Over. Regression test case executed.
Test is over.
Okay.
Okay, understood.
So we understood what is, so in this class we understood how to create a package. Okay. And we understood under a package how to create a testng class. Okay. And under a testng class which contains some class name. Okay. And the class name, the class which contains some method. Under a method, we will write all our set of driver commands. And we understood where we have to declare the declaration part. Okay. So we understood what is the importance of 4 lines. System.set property. What is the meaning of system.set property first line of code? I told you. System will understand where is your Chrome driver.exe is located, so that your Chrome driver.exe will be ready, okay, to execute your set of driver commands. Okay. If you don't specify who will execute, okay, so Chrome driver.exe will be ready, and you have to know, you have to specify where it is located. Okay. And driver is equal, so, and Chrome driver.exe, what we can call it as a terminology wise, it's a mediator or interface between your Selenium program and browser. That's why we are calling as a WebDriver is a mediator. See, to install Selenium software, I told you 4 softwares required. Eclipse, you are writing, it's an editor, you are writing your Selenium program. Okay. And Java and TestNG are the supporting libraries. See, these are the supporting libraries automatically importing. And WebDriver. So this is the WebDriver.exe is the main one. You have to download it from the website. And browser. So these all things are required. These 4 softwares. So I launched my program and I have created. Understood, right, everyone? So now I will repeat the test engine. I will repeat one more time. So where we have done day 01. So I will share this package in the group right now, right away. Okay. So you can refer. So I'm doing copy. See, I copied this package. And I'm pasting here. See, it came just like a folder. Okay. And I'm doing right click and send to zip file. Means these are the programs it contains, whatever programs I explained. So I'm going to share you this so you can unzip and extract, so you can able to see this folder and you can refer the programs whatever I explained. Okay. So let me share this one in the group. Zip file. Right. So hope everyone understood how to write basic program. Okay, let me repeat the steps. Okay. So I'm going to ask you how to create the package now. Under src test Java, right click, new package. So day 05, I have created package. Okay. And after package, what I need to do? I have to create testng class. Testng, create testng class. And I'm giving my name as tc01 login. Click on finish. So testng class got created. So just give enough spaces. This is the best practice you have to learn. Okay, so give enough spaces because you are going to write your code. So initial state is ready. So what is the next step I have to do? I have to rename. First I have to rename my method name. So I'm doing rename login test. You can write method name whatever you want. Okay, right. So what is the first step I have to do? Declaration of WebDriver. Okay, WebDriver. Okay, and I'm saving my program. And what is the, so here it is giving error. What I have to do? I have to import the WebDriver. Imported WebDriver. Okay, next what I need to do? I need to write those 4 lines of code. Do I need to remember that one, or do I need to copy and paste it? Copy paste it only, don't write manually. So no need to remember any line of code. Okay, so copy and go here and paste it. So inside a method we will write all lines of code, lines of codes. So application URL is launched and everything is ready. Okay, so application URL is launched here. One second. So what is the next step I need to do? If I want to automate this login page, I have to inspect web element ID or name. Okay, let me take ID. Okay, how to inspect the web element ID for text username? Right click and click on in here. So body got selected. Again, I have to inspect. So taking ID. Username. Right click, click on inspect. ID is equal to txt password. Login button. Done. Okay, I have taken. Next, what is the next point? I have to write set of driver commands. So let me copy one line of code. Okay. See, I'm not remembering any of the syntax. You also no need to remember. So just copy one line of code. So how many lines of code I have to write now? So let me copy 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I have to replace this ID. Username, password, button log. Okay. So this is called a web element. Okay, this is called a web element. Okay, how do you write web element? If anybody will ask you, driver dot find element by ID. And on a web element, what are the operations we can perform? Send keys and click. So I want to type value as in the username, I want to type value as admin, and password I want to type value as admin123. And this is a button login. It's not a click send keys operation. It's a click operation. Click or login page is automated. So I'm saving my program and I'm clicking on run button. 1 second. Close all. So which package I have created? Day 0 for this one. So I have to select this testng class and right click, run as testng test. Okay, so like that. So previously we have inspected admin and we have inspected nationalities web element, and after that we clicked on add button web element. So that means I have taken every web element ID and I have continued. So like that we have written these lines of code. Okay, does it look like coding part that you are writing? It is very easy. Anybody can write Selenium program. Okay, so most of the things we have to focus what is the best practices and coding standards that we can follow. Okay, so writing of Selenium code is very dead easy. Okay, what is the best practices, and what are the different web application actions, means whenever you want to perform some double click, right click, and such kind of things, advanced topics we can learn. But the scripting wise, everything is like this only. Okay, so writing of Selenium code is very, very easy. Understood, right? Okay, so going back to the running notes. So get ready with your laptops. Okay, and today we understood these are the softwares are required: Eclipse, Java, TestNG, and WebDriver and browsers. Okay, and yeah, that's it for today. So today we have covered how to launch the first basic program and how to write set of driver commands, and we understood what is a WebDriver. What is a WebDriver? I told you so many times. WebDriver is a mediator or
Interface
interface, okay, between
between the
Selenium program and the
Selenium programs and the
browser.
browser.
Okay, so all set of driver commands which is executing by Chrome driver.exe. Okay, that's why WebDriver we are calling as a mediator. Hope everyone understood. So that's it for today, and tomorrow we will continue 9 to 10 same time. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.